Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Hey, Sandeep, how are you?
Hey, 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 Chinmay, I'm good. I'm good.
Awesome. So, yeah, I think we have a lot of people joined in with us.
Sure, let's get started. I see
Awesome.
Sanket also is here. Let's call Sanket also on the stage. Sanket, if you are free, join.
Hey, Sanket, I've sent you an invite.
Sure, let's get started. Okay, Chinmay, let's get started. Already we are late.
Sure, sure. Please, tell us the agenda of this AMA space where a lot of people are really excited about the strategic race. So, what it is all about, and what we are going to do about it.
Yeah, so I think we have a like. I mean, right now it's still not announced, but it's going to be announced in next 4 or 5 days, and we have very exciting and very big news coming in, and basically Polygon has been a very retail centric community till now, and we wanted to bring in a lot of institutions now in Polygon, especially which provide larger visibility amongst the I mean, including like Wall Street, Hollywood, multiple geographies and institutions, large institutions related to multiple geographies, so that now that Polygon is well positioned to be now continuing the journey towards the, I would say, the top 10 protocols in the world. And I mean, I have multiple times said this, that my goal is to make Polygon a top 3 protocol. Like, I mean, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Polygon, this should be the top 3 protocols. Like, and I truly believe that Polygon has everything. The way our community is growing, the way number of applications, daily average users are growing. I mean, if there are top 3 candidates to become that big, I think we'll definitely be in that category, and we would want to be there. And then that's why we need institutions and larger participation from institutions and other things. So uh, you know um, that's why we are going to announce about this in some days, but it's going to be a pretty large global coverage around the same.
Absolutely. So, currently, when we talk about Polygon's development, we have quite some development in the ZK side of things. So, if you want to highlight, some part on that side.
Sure. So I can highlight that, and after that, like Chinmay, do you have a larger kind of questionnaire session, or we want to keep it with community? Let's get people to ask their questions more instead of we having our discussions. But let me first kind of take everyone through that. Everyone knows that at Polygon we are very bullish on the zero knowledge technology. We feel that this is the end game to bring internet level scale to blockchains, and we have not one, not two, in fact four different zero knowledge efforts going on, which include Polygon Hermes, Polygon Zero, Polygon Maiden, and Polygon Nightfall. And each of these have slightly different approaches, and different use cases. So for example, Polygon Hermes is building a zk EVM, right? So basically, I mean, it's a bit technical stuff, but it basically will take the Ethereum code directly and run it on this layer 2 zk EVM, whereas the Polygon Zero is working on a transpiling approach, wherein you take Ethereum code and you transpile, means you convert it into a new kind of code, and then that code runs on this transpiled or this new VM that will have. So advantages of previous approaches, that it will have very very high degree of Ethereum compatibility. The advantages of the second approach is that you can have larger opcode set basically, or you can do much different things in this layer 2 VM, and then still be able to put the proof back on Ethereum. Similarly, Polygon Maiden is a fully Stark based approach, like something what Starkware is doing, and we feel that there are some benefits to that, so that's a separate effort that is going on. And then Polygon Nightfall is a enterprise friendly, privacy oriented roll up where enterprises can build their applications. And I mean, without disclosing names, I mean, there are like really big institutions, probably Fortune 50 or Fortune 100 kind of institutions already working on some of the Polygon technologies, and you will get to hear about them soon once their products are ready and they're ready to deploy.
Cool, awesome. So I think we can take some questions from the community now. If anyone has any question, uh, you want to catch up with Polygon's side, you can just hit request. I'll take you guys up.
Sure. In the meanwhile, I mean, while somebody comes up on stage and asks something, I think the adoption side, like I think, I hope you guys are liking that. Like it's like really growing in the past few months, like 100% growth month on month, which is very exciting for us. And I want to talk more about it. But yeah, Goldinu, you have a question, right? Like, please go ahead. Goldinu, you are a speaker. You can go ahead.
that you're doing for the success of the projects, and I'm already following up always for these projects. But I forgot when you did the kickoff, when I attended the kickoff with you guys, and I forgot about the milestones. What is the earliest milestone, and for which project? Um, it will be coming.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure. So I'm guessing you are talking about the ZK rollups that are being built, right? ZK rollups, and as well as the Polygon Edge product, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So we have. I mean, we. I mean, yesterday itself, like we were, in person discussions with the Polygon Hermes team, and they seem to be the most farthest. And I think we might see a test net very early. That means like somewhere around April May, which is extremely like 2-3 months ahead of schedule. and we are really impressed, and the I mean, we're really excited about how the things have turned out on the Polygon Hermes rollup side. So that's the earliest, and the Polygon Edge is already doing great. And then we have a V3, like the Polygon current chain, the advanced version of that current chain, that should also be ready somewhere around March, April. So it will initially, it might I mean, it will launch also in the April May range. So around, like within the first half of the year itself, we have two
Mhm.
three deployments coming in. Yeah.
So you believe that the first next quarter we will
Yeah.
see something coming? Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. That's We are very highly optimistic on that.
Yeah, we are amateur holders. You know what I mean. We are waiting for these milestones to be achieved. And another question, technical question.
This
Yeah.
I would say that this whole year is lined up like that. We have like multiple products coming out. Like V3 is coming, Polygon Hermes is there, Polygon Zero also might ship. Maybe in Q3. We have Polygon Avail, which is the data availability layer, that is also coming. So this year is very action packed in that sense, in
Oh,
terms of our
great,
products.
great, great. And you heard about the Solana, the technical issue between the WETH, between Solana and Ethereum, the cross chain, maybe.
Yeah.
Am I? Yeah. Is it why this is happen? Why this happened? I mean, on Solana, and is this may happen on Polygon someday, or because same technology, or we have different technology than Solana, and to prevent, I mean, such issues.
See, I mean, this is actually specific to the wormhole team, and wormhole is a cross chain project, and then they had some bug, especially on the Solana side. So if there was a bug on Polygon side, that could have already happened. But
Uh-huh.
Polygon side,
Okay, great.
luckily the Polygon
Okay, thanks, man.
I think that the main reason for that is that, see, and that's what I've been always saying, that Solana and some of these other chains, like they are Rust based programming languages, right? There is Rust based programming. These are different blockchains. Their gas fees, user accounts, everything is different, right? So
Mhm,
what happens is that on Ethereum, if you see in the last 4 to 5 years, there have been billions of dollars worth of attacks, right? And then
mhm,
these solidity based languages and EVM based applications have reached this place today, where you have like some certain practices that, okay, this is how you should build. Whereas on specifically on Solana, I was reading some stats somewhere that 90% of the code or the programs or the smart contracts on Solana are not even open sourced. So if they are not open sourced, then when they become open source, then there is then only people and hackers will start
right.
start trying to kind of trying to attack those smart contracts, right? For example, this is like so often, like you remember that some time back we had announced a white hacker bounty and all that,
Yeah,
because one of our smart contract, which was already open source, but it got verified on Etherscan. Due to some reason, it was not being verified before, so some utility changes, upgrades happened, and it got verified. And then immediately these white hat hackers found out these this one particular bug, and then we kind of gave them a bounty and resolved them and all that. But
right.
this is happening on Ethereum, which has had multiple years of battle testing. With Solana,
Mm,
I think, like that battle testing is just getting started. I think, I
yeah,
mean, and they need to promote more and more of their applications to be open source, because only then the overall ecosystem will evolve. Otherwise, with closed source, they will it will be hard to evolve those standard security practices.
exactly, exactly. Yes. One last question, and I will leave the mic for you guys. About the Ethereum, the H2 that is renamed now to consensus. This is the right name. I don't know. Is it gonna be like because there are some interrelation between Matic and Ethereum. So we are always concerned about any updates on Polygon, and we are also concerned about any updates about Ethereum. So
Yeah.
do you think that Ethereum will launch the ETH2? Uh, um,
No, so
uh,
see, E 2.0, the full roadmap, which is basically the sharded, 64 shard approach and all that, that is not happening. This year, what is happening is the merge to the proof of stake, right? So we are moving from proof of work to proof of stake. I think
yeah.
that will shortly happen within some time this year, maybe mid of this year or late this year. But E 2.0 with shards, I think not many people still, like, I mean, Ethereum is very decentralized, and its roadmap is also very decentralized. So some people, very few people, believe that the full sharded 64 shard is going to happen anytime soon, within 3 to 5 years, right? This
Mhm.
this merge that is going to happen is only from proof of work to proof of stake. So that's one thing. Secondly, for Polygon, like, any increment or any kind of upgrade that happens on Ethereum, and it improves the efficiency of Ethereum, reduces the cost on Ethereum, it's actually very helpful to Polygon, because all these, and Polygon and other layer 2 solutions, because all these layer 2s have to submit their data and proof of the transactions back on Ethereum. And Ethereum becoming more powerful, and Ethereum becoming more, I would say, Ethereum scaling more benefits the Polygon ecosystem overall.
So
Yep.
we will see, like in April, starting next quarter, we will see some news from Polygon and from Ethereum as well, right?
Yep. I don't know about Ethereum, but about Polygon, yes, we should start approaching at least the testnet stages of some of our new products that are coming in. Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alex, Saksham. If you have any question.
Hi Sandeep, Saksham here. So I have a couple of questions, like as a follow up to George's question as well, like, and some regarding layer one. So essentially, like as you mentioned, that ETH two is sort of more focused on the gas fees part of it. So what do you feel that, like, when sharding would come in, like what could be the security concerns, particularly to ETH two, and how do you feel about the future of particularly ETH two with ETH?
ETH2 with I mean, you are saying the future of Ethereum. So,
Yeah.
see, Ethereum, as I have also multiple times said in my, tweets and many public appearances also, that, I believe that Ethereum has already established itself as the settlement layer of this Web3, right? So, a settlement layer means, like, one single layer which combines all these small small avenues of applications together. Like, if you see internet, it's a very vague analogy, but you see that internet has a transcontinental, like, underwater, undersea, optical fibers, big optical fibers, which connect, let's say, India to the, Middle East to the, through the Atlantic, I mean, Europe to America and all that, right? So that's one big layer with which the whole internet or the whole world gets connected with each other. And then, you, with each country, you have smaller, kind of broadband or subnets, and then within each country you'll have cities which will have their own ISPs and individual subnets and things like that. So, I mean, for Ethereum, I believe that, I mean, internet is basically, current internet is basically the internet of information. And what we are doing at Web3 is we are basically trying to create the internet of value. And this internet of value, Ethereum is that transcontinental, the optical fiber, I would say, which connects the whole world together. And for each kind of, I mean, like the way you have countries having their own subnets and things like that, here you will have these layer 2 chains, which will have the business activity, which will have these games, enterprises, and various different kinds of applications running on them. But Ethereum will be the settlement layer. I also mentioned some time back that Ethereum is transitioning from a user to chain approach, from user to chain approach to a chain to chain approach, where end users will never be interacting on Ethereum. They will be always interacting on some layer 2s, and layer 2s will be settling back into Ethereum. So if you see that future, I mean, I believe that Ethereum has already established as a settlement layer because it's extremely secure, extremely decentralized, battle tested, and everything. And its network effects are really, really huge. Like the whole of DeFi, whole of NFT, everything is on Ethereum. And with any upgrades where Ethereum is able to do even some incremental changes in its scalability, like we going from proof of work to proof of stake, are immensely beneficial to this settlement layer and also beneficial to the transaction layer, which are the layer 2 chains basically. So I mean, with ETH 2.0, whether sharding comes or not, I think any incremental benefits or in any incremental kind of upgrades that are happening on Ethereum chain are very good for the overall ecosystem, and I am extremely bullish on Ethereum in that sense, because I believe that this is the I mean, strongly believe that this is the settlement layer of this internet of value.
Understood, Sandeep. So just following up on that, so as you mentioned, like the Ethereum would be the main net of the Web3, right? So what do you feel about like the new layer ones that are coming, like maybe Solana, Avalanche, right? So essentially they have faster speeds of transaction, and they are in some way compensating on what Ethereum could not achieve, right? So what is your take on this? Like could there be a multi-chain future, or like will all sort of merge into a single chain? Like what do you sort of think on
I
that?
Yeah, so I actually I mean, I would say that that's more of a marketing narrative. For example, you mentioned about Avalanche also. So I see that Avalanche already with its very early uh, uh, Joe, can you mute yourself? Like, I think you have some background noise. These other layer ones that are there, which they have like I think like Avalanche, even at very like maybe 1 million transactions per day or something, they are already approaching the increments in the gas fees, right? And with Solana, they have freeze the gas fees, but you see that constantly the chain goes down and there is a bot activity and things like that, right? The reason for that is that there is a reason why all these standard blockchains like Ethereum, Bitcoin, who have stood the test of time, they have dynamic pricing, because there is only one way to stop the bot and these malicious activities is that the gas fees goes up when bots are trying to attack the chain. So first of all, I don't believe in that my in the alt layer ones providing anything special. It's just that they are right now, they don't have that much activity, and due to that they are able to boast low gas fees. The moment they have higher activity, they will also have the similar gas fees, or they will run into problems like what Solana has, where the gas fees or the chain gets stalled and things like that. So and in terms of adoption, like if you see the scale of adoption, I mean, the total adoption on Ethereum or on let's say Solana and Avalanche, let's say the let's talk about the sort of organic statistics. Like, I'm not talking about TVL and all that, which can be brought in by some particular entities. I'm talking about daily average users, I'm talking about number of developers, I'm talking about number of D apps being built and things like that. I think Solana and Polygon, or Avalanche and Polygon, have similar amount of time, in terms of their go live, right? So we have been all of these chains are live for last probably 1 year or something, 1.5 year. And if you go by these organic adoption statistics, Polygon would be orders of magnitude bigger than both of these bigger chains, layer one chains combined. Like, combine the total adoption and then multiply it by some number, then you will get on some of these organic statistics. For example, number of dapps on Polygon alone is like 7,000. That was kind of posted by Alchemy, which is the third party. And I am guessing that they counted all the smart contracts, but I would say unique applications also, even in our records, it's around 3,000. And if you see Solana or some of the other layer ones, like, I don't know the exact stats about them, but they will be like 300, 400. So we'll be like, Polygon would be 10x than that. And the main thesis of Polygon is that if you can have that kind of scalability available on top of Ethereum, you don't need any other layer one. And the other thing is that layer one, because see, this whole premise of web3 is based on decentralization of this computation, right? Like if this decentralization is not there, then what are we even here for, right? And I believe that that's a last man standing game, because it will be very hard, like the way, let's say, some of these blockchains are built, it's very hard to decentralize them. Avalanche, have heard that is fairly, they are built in a way where they can have large number of validators. But then the moment they have large number of validators, even now with 1 million transactions a day, I think they are approaching very, like, fairly high gas fees, like $8, $10 and all that, which Ethereum didn't have when Ethereum used to have that level of traction. So I mean, if you decentralize, then you are not going to able to be achieved, not going to be able to achieve scale. And if you don't decentralize, then it's not even a blockchain. So, and then if you decentralize enough, then you almost start approaching where Ethereum is. So what's the point? So we strongly believe that the future of blockchain is one strong layer one, which acts as a settlement layer, and the user activity, business activity, transaction layer happens on a layer two. That's our thesis, and we strongly believe in that, and that's why we are super bullish on Ethereum as that settlement layer.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. So just more
So,
question on.
like,
Yeah, yeah, sir.
Laksham and everyone, let's do it in a way that everybody should have like one question and one counter question. Otherwise, like, other people
Yeah, yeah,
won't
sure,
get
sure, sure,
get time.
sure.
So yeah,
Thanks, Sandeep, thanks.
okay, yeah,
Thanks,
awesome.
Saksham.
Okay, Joe.
Yeah, so please go.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, it's a great project. I've followed it for a while and just started using it recently on OpenSea. So I'm really impressed with the work you're doing. I have one general question, since I'm kind of coming up the curve on what you do, and then one specific on NFTs, if you don't mind. So the general question is: so I understand, like Polygon can run the same smart contracts as basically Ethereum, so it mirrors it in a way. But you're also doing things that Ethereum's not doing. Sounds like you're doing more with zero-knowledge proofs, for example. So how do you how will that ever compromise being in sync with the way Ethereum operates? That you're doing things they're not doing.
So, like when you say that we are using zero knowledge technology, actually the zero knowledge technology is being used to prove the computation on layer 2, right? So computation on layer 2 means, like, you use zero knowledge technology to create these cryptographic proofs, so that you can submit those cryptographic proofs back on Ethereum, because you can create proofs with zero knowledge technology, but who verifies them? For the verification, you need a layer 1 which is strongly decentralized, and that is Ethereum. So we are actually using zero knowledge technology to be to be able to prove to Ethereum that some computation, let's say a transfer, let's say a NFT minting or something like that, happened in a correct way, in a non-fraudulent way on layer 2, right? And zero knowledge technology is used to prove that on Ethereum. So, I mean, whatever we are doing, we believe that at the end of the day, the computations you will do on layer 2, because if you want to have these web3 applications, they need to have the capabilities and the features of what blockchain offers, which means transparency, full user ownership to own their assets, and third one, censorship resistance. So for all of these things, we can do whatever we are doing, but at the end of the day, the full guarding, like we can. And the fourth one is like layer 2 is trying to achieve scale, right? So if we have to focus on achieving scale while still ensuring all these three characteristics I said: full user ownership, censorship resistance, and decentralization, then we need to use Ethereum security, or basically the layer 1 security. That's the basic thesis of layer 2. So we might do even more things, but at the end of the day, the goal is to settle back into the most decentralized layer 1, which is Ethereum by
Right.
far.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Now I have one specific question about NFT. So you mentioned that Ethereum basically has a very dominant market share in NFTs, which I don't think anyone could argue that. But what about like a bridging solution that could take, let's say, the NFT and the provenance off of the Ethereum chain and then put it on a different chain? And I have no agenda, but so I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Let's say they move to Avalanche. Like, is that a way to actually dilute, the value of the near monopoly that Ethereum has on these NFTs right now?
Hmm.
Does that make
So
sense the way I
I'll give
express
you an
that?
example. No, no, sure, sure, sure. So you
Okay.
are saying that you have an NFT and you can prove that NFT existed on Ethereum, and then you can take it on some other chain, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
and
sure,
maybe I
that
can
can
even
be done.
take the provenance along with it, right? Which is valuable, of course, with an NFT.
Yeah, yeah. So two things, right? So if you want to take that provenance against with with you to another chain, then uh, then you have to basically put a lot of data in whatever chain you are migrating your NFT to, right? So that is going to be costly. um the second thing is that like giving an example of Polygon, let's not go far. Let's take an example of that people wanting to move their NFTs back into, let's say, Polygon, from Ethereum to Polygon, right? But not many people move their Ethereum NFTs to Polygon, because on Ethereum the NFTs are highly valuable. Like when you have $100,000 NFT or even $50,000 NFT, you don't mind paying $100 gas fees, because you know that this is fully secured, and this NFT will ensure its value, because it's available on the most decentralized and most trusted chain. Like, people could move that NFT to Polygon, but we are not seeing a lot of people doing that. And on Polygon the NFTs are there, which are like gaming NFTs, or small artists doing their artwork for, let's say, $100, $200, $500. And when somebody comes to us and who is looking to build some NFTs, who should be in probably in hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, we say that go to Ethereum. Why do you even need scalability for that? So I'm saying that, even though people could move, but the base use case for a high value NFT which are minted on Ethereum is for people to basically ensure that value sustains. Like at the end of the day, it's ownership of a art piece, right? And then if you go to a chain which goes down frequently and all that, those the value of that NFT is actually already discounted by the market, because if it exists, I can tell you right now that
Right.
if you mint the same crypto punks on Polygon, it will not cost as heavy as, let's say, what it would be on Ethereum, because on Ethereum people will trust 100,000 or $1 million NFT more. But on Polygon you would want to do a $10 gaming, let's say, gun, which you can use within
Mhm.
a game.
But
Yeah.
let's say like a competitor, a layer one competitor, wants to take the valuable assets off Ethereum, put it on their chain because they could. Let's say they've just got a large funding and they can kind of afford this subsidizing it just to get some more valuable artifacts on their chain.
Yeah, but
Does that
at the end the
make sense?
user has to move, right? They can't do it themselves. The user has to move from his address. He has to sign at his or her address. He has to sign a transaction that, okay, I'm burning it here, and I'm taking it to the other chain. So it's not doable.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
All right, Joe. Thank you. Karthik.
Hey Sandeep, I have a question regarding Polygon Avail. Can you tell us a bit more about Polygon Avail? Is it just going to be a layer where we can just dump the transaction data, or is it, or will there be a set of validators, and is it going to be like a pluggable consensus layer where on top of which the rollups can be built?
Yeah, yeah, that's a great question. So let me let me tell a bit about the data availability, right? So basically, at the end, you can put the data on, like, let's say, Polygon chain. Also you can put the data on some smart contracts, or you can put the data on Ethereum chain also. But it's one is about the cost, like how much it is going to cost you to put that data over there. But the data availability is more about, even the smallest of the nodes, or the light nodes that we call, light nodes being able to verify the presence of some data, and which is being done by some very advanced mathematical techniques, like, kate commitments, or kate commitments, as it might be called in the West. So but those are called, actually this is called kate commitments and all that. These are like polynomial commitments, where you have some data, and you can polynomially, by putting a mathematical proof, you can actually, even though you don't have the full data, but and you have a very small, let's say, even like 50 MB data for a whole chain, which is, let's say, which might have multiple GBs of data, but you can still verify everything, that, okay, all the data corresponds. And if you see some data using the proofs, you can easily verify that this data is legitimately existing on the other chain. Now, why this data availability is important for layer 2s is that, if you build a full blown roll up, then what you do is you put both your cryptographic proofs and the data of the transaction back on Ethereum, right? And the moment you do that, the transaction cost becomes very heavy, right? For example, Arbitrum, I mean, really amazing team and amazing product, but at the end, like, they are seeing very throttled or very low amount of adoption because the gas fees are again high. Why? Because if you do a transaction on Arbitrum, and that Arbitrum has to put the proof as well as the data back on Ethereum, which costs you some money, right? And it increases linearly. Like today you have one transaction per block, and tomorrow you have 100 transactions per block. You have to put 100 transactions data. So in order to resolve that, what you can do with zero knowledge technology, and that's why we are extremely bullish on zero knowledge technology, is that you with zero knowledge technology, the kind of proofs that you put back on Ethereum, those are called validity proofs. With optimistic rollups, those are called uh, fraud proofs. Like fraud proofs means, let me take 1 minute. Like the fraud proofs is basically where you are putting some data back on Ethereum, but that data or the layer 2 execution might be fraudulent. But then if it is fraudulent, anybody from public can come and challenge that particular transaction or batch of transactions, and then slash the operators of the layer 2. But with zero knowledge technology, we use something called validity proofs, wherein the zero knowledge technology cryptography, in very layman terms, is so strong that, if you are creating a proof of a transaction of some transactions, of a batch of transactions, and you're putting it back on Ethereum, and if there is any fraudulent activity in that, the Ethereum zero knowledge circuit will simply not accept it, right? So instead of fraud proofs, you do validity proofs. So now when you have something like this where validity proofs is there, then you can put your data in an external data availability layer, which is why we are building Avail. So the Polygon rollups will be able to put the data on the data availability layer. That means the data of the transactions, right? Like when you go on Block Explorer, you see the transaction data. So you can put that transaction data on this data availability layer. It can be Avail. We have other thought processes also on that how that data can be sustainably put somewhere. So you put that data over there, and on Ethereum you only submit the zero knowledge proof. That reduces, these are called validiums, not rollups, and this will become like more and more prominent as Polygons rollups and validium go live in some time. So uh, so so basically, that's the concept behind data availability, and you will hear about validiums more and more as zero knowledge technologies start going mainstream. So yeah. So about data availability, I think to your specific question, that what exactly it is basically a blockchain which is run by proof of stake validators. But the way it is run and the way it is done is that, even though you don't want to run a full node or full validator, you can run a very small light node, and you can still, with a very small data footprint, like that means like in few MBs, you can verify the entire blockchain and the availability of the data. So you can't lie about the data. So data of a computation. So and that is used for layer twos, where layer twos can put their data on this data availability chain and put only proofs back on Ethereum and make transactions extremely cost effective. I hope that makes sense.
Uh,
There was a
yeah,
lot of things in that.
just one more question. So when you say these rollups will be putting the data on the Polygon Avail, so I'm guessing these will be called volitions. They'll have an option either to put the data on Ethereum or on Avail.
Yeah, I mean, so
Uh,
volition is basically one more version on top of it, where you can ask the user to choose whether they want to put the data back on Ethereum or data availability. I'm not sure whether we'll be aiming for volition in the first iterations. In the first iteration, we simply want to have a cost effective layer one built on zero knowledge technology, which provides low cost transactions and is fully secure on Ethereum. So volition might include some more engineering, and that could be, let's say, 1.1, 1.5, whatever. But initially, our goal would be to have simple rollups and validiums, probably as separate chains. Like maybe validium or a rollup there will be a rollup chain where people want full data and full security on Ethereum, zero knowledge security, or you can choose this off-chain data availability with the zero knowledge proofs on Ethereum. But
Thank
volition
you
will
so
come later. Okay.
just
Okay.
just sorry. Just one question. So when you say even the light nodes on Polygon Avail can verify the data is available. So when is it through data availability sampling? Uh,
Yes, yes, yes,
yeah.
yes, yes. It is
Okay.
done via data availability sampling methods. Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. So Chinmay, let's take one more guest on the stage, and then we can wrap this up.
Cool, cool. I've just accepted one request.
Hello. Recently, I read a article written by Vitalik where he said that he thinks why cross chain won't be good. Like another chain, it could happen like 51% attack, and he took the example of uh, Ethereum and Solana. Can these kind of attack could happen like with layer one and layer two, or what's your comment or safe security about those things?
Chain, but I don't believe in cross chain. Although, like, this is more semantics. What I mean to say is, and I have multiple times tweeted about it, that I believe that the future is multi-chain, but those chains will be built on Ethereum. But I want to say is that all those chains will be relying on one end source of security, which is Ethereum in this scenario. I don't believe that like there will be multiple layer ones which will be in the longer run. I'm saying in the shorter run, probably some of them will pick up some popularity and things like that, and which they are already doing. But in the longer run, I believe, and it's a longer thesis from my side also, that why the layer one is an extreme decentralization game. And when you have decentralization, you need that native asset of that chain to act as a hard money. And when for hard, in terms of hard money, this hard money will start becoming globally, globally as a form of money. So I have a thesis where not only other layer ones will not be able to compete with Ethereum in any form. In fact, Bitcoin also will not be eventually be able to compete with Ethereum, because the moment people realize that, okay, Ethereum has all the capabilities of what Bitcoin has. The chain is very sturdy, it's very battle tested. It now with the EIP 1559, the supply is also, in fact, it's deflationary. And then on the third side, with proof of stake, your Ethereum also gives you yield. So it is a much better store of value, and something that has more utility than Ethereum, so, or than Bitcoin. So that's why I believe that not only Ethereum versus layer one, Ethereum is going to win, but even between BTC and Ethereum will win, because that hard asset which is guarding the decentralization of the layer one needs to acquire the properties of hard money. And globally, in the history of humanity, we have always had one strong global currency. Like today it's US dollar. Previously, it used to be British pound, and then before that gold, and multiple different throughout the history of humanity. I don't believe that there will be like multiple hard assets which will acquire properties of money, and become global currency, and they will be multiple in number. You will have one global currency, and I strongly believe that that will be Ethereum. And hence it will be able to provide more decentralization, more security on Ethereum base layer. And for layer ones, decentralization and security is the key thing. Hence I believe that it should be an last man standing game for layer ones, and Ethereum is way stronger than any other chain available on that front. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but did I miss your exact question? Your exact question was, sorry. Your exact question was, sorry. Your exact question was whether I believe in cross chain and multi chain or not. So first I said that I don't believe that other layer ones are going to compete in the long run. So hence I believe that there will be one layer one, and then there will be layer twos or multiple chains built on top of this layer one. So I believe in multi-chain, but not cross-chain in the longer run, in a long enough horizon, let's say 5 to 10 years from now, or not 10 years, maybe 5 years. Within 5 years, you will see that. I feel. And your question is that okay, on cross-chain we saw a very big hack on wormhole recently. Can that happen with layer twos? Yes, that can absolutely happen. That can absolutely happen. That there is a layer two bridge, and that bridge has some sort of security flaw or a bug, and then some hacker can and, try to drain out the funds from there. That can totally happen, and this can only improve when the layer twos are launched and become eventually become more and more standardized, so that the base bridges, like the base functionality of the bridges, is battle tested. And it will be, but it will be a hard time in between, where there might be some hacks, god forbid, even we can experience a hack or all that, that nobody can guarantee you that. And I totally believe that there will be some layer 2 bridges here and there which will have some sort of faulty. That's why, like, I can tell you from Polygon side, we have invested very heavily in the past few months in terms of and we are even investing to have an internal security team also. And we have invested in hacking groups, because we know that those bugs are out there. And it's rather than a black hat hacker finding it first, we incentivize white hat hackers to find that, and we resolve that. So totally, the issues and bugs can happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then, Chinmay, I think we can wrap this up.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much, Sandeep, for your time. It was great having
Thanks.
you.
Thanks everyone for joining in. And yeah, I mean, any other questions anybody has, you can, tag me on a tweet and ask. Please feel free. Yep. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. Awesome.
Have a
Thank
great
you. Thank you
weekend.
so
Bye
much.
bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in and listening so patiently. We'll have this session more in the future. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day, guys.